Today I'm working on a 500i. This is a brand new saw, only has a couple hours on it, a couple tanks through it, and going to be making a couple what I consider necessary upgrades to this saw. So let's get started. First things first, we're going to pop off the clutch cover here. Set that off to the side. So the first upgrade that I'm going to do is I'm going to undo this screw here, and I'm going to change out this inner guide plate that they have on this 500i. Let's take this and just kind of wipe everything down real fast. But take this guide plate off, and I've got an inner guide plate off of a MS 461. Part of the reason why I'm changing this out is there's a definite thickness. This one's fairly flimsy, this one's nice and rigid, so just going to put the little bit better guide plate onto the saw. So just pop that on real fast. And modification number one is done. Now, the 461 guide plate is the exact same as the 500i guide plate and the 462. It just is a little bit thicker. I don't know if that's because they want to reduce weight or what's going on there, but I changed that out. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the muffler cover off. I'm not changing the muffler on this saw. Make sure you don't lose your screws when you do this, but I want to get access to the back dog bolt here, or the nut that's on the back of the dog holding it on, so I can change out the felling dog. I like using the West Coast saw felling dogs. That's what I'm going to be putting on this saw. They allow you to line up your cut a lot better, and they're deeper, so they kind of bite into the tree when you're cutting, where these ones don't seem to bite well. Eventually, I will probably put a muffler modification onto this saw. But being that it's new, you leave it stock till the warranty expires. Just set that off to the side. Now I have access to the back of this screw, so I can take my ratchet, stick it on here, and pop that off. Next, we're going to get this screw right here. This also holds on your chain catcher. And so now we have our dog off. Now I'm going to be putting a full wrap handle on this, so before I put the new dog back on, there is a screw back here that I have to take off, so that way I can get the old handle off and put the new one on. So I'm going to pop this out. And then I'm going to take off the screws here and here. This one just has a like bump stop on it, so you don't need to take this screw off of the saw. Next, there's a screw holding on to the AV mount here. So we're going to pop this off. And then we're going to tip the saw on its side, and down here are your final mounts holding on your handle. So then you're able to go and finagle your handle out from underneath here. So we're going to set that off to the side, and we're just going to pull this handle back off of the saw. Or does this one want to come forward? This one's coming forward. So we're going to discard that part of the saw. And before we go and put this on the new handle, we are going to twist off this spring off of both sides. And I have a new suspension kit that I got from West Coast Saw. Putting a 32-inch bar on this saw, which is what I use a lot to buck firewood, it needs the extra stiffness of the spring that he provides. The stock equipment, the saw moves around a lot. So I've got a 462. I've already done the upgrade on the 462. So it's just a matter of getting this old part off. So the kit also comes with a new sponge. So you've got your new sponge, you've got your old sponge. You can see the difference in size. So you just go and pop the new sponge on, and this is ready to go back on when I put the new handle on. I'm going to set the other parts off to the side. I'm not going to throw them out just in case I need them later on, but I am going to be done with them for now. So then, also in the kit are these new rubber bushings. So there's one down here in the saw. There's one down here, and the other one's up here. So I'm just going to kind of press this one up top out. And as you can see, there's a lot more surface area with the new one, and it does tighten up the saw pretty well. And then I'm just gonna reach in, pull this other one out. Then to put these new ones in, you just kind of finagle the saw a little bit, and they press right in. Although I'm going to go and grab a little bit of oil because that does help. So pour a little bit of oil on the cap, take my finger, kind of put some oil on it, so that way now when I go to press it in, it just pops right on in. And I'll do the same thing with the other one. Rub some oil on it, reach in here, press it in. So now I have that suspension kit installed on the saw. The next thing that I'm going to do is I have one of these holders. It's off of a rescue saw, a 462R or 461R. I'm going to put that onto this full wrap handle. So to do that, I'm going to have to take this screw out here. And then I'm going to take this piece off up here. So this part just pops off and this screw spins out. So I pop this piece off, and then I'm able to take this part of the scrunch holder and slide it up. Now again, it's rubber, so I'm going to take a little bit of oil again and just kind of put it on the inside to hopefully help it slide up a little bit. So that slides on like so. And now I've got a scrunch holder on the top of my saw. So that way when I'm out in the woods, I've got a scrunch with me, real nice and easy. It's not showing up. So then it's just a simple matter of putting this back together. Pop this screw in up here. Tighten it in place. Pop the back piece back on. And then take this part of the saw handle and pop that back on as well. So next we're gonna slide this piece back on, kind of press it in place as best as we can. And then we're gonna slide it back into position. And kind of finagle everything back in. Okay, now that that's back there, we're gonna put this screw back in down here. Come on. There we go. We're going to put these screws back in down here. And then we're going to come up here, we're going to pop this screw for the AV mount in. If I can get it lined up. You know what? I'm gonna hold off on that one. See if I tighten these ones down, if that'll pull the saw a little bit closer, or the handle won't move as much. Because I think I'm fighting both of them. And with that tightened up, this actually just kind of lines up now. So now, before I finish, I want to put my dog back on. So I've got the new dog here, and it kind of slips on right here. So I'm going to thread through up here, put the nut on. And I'm going to put the chain catcher back on, even though I'll be installing another chain catcher with the dogs. But I like to have both. So I'll tighten that up there. Tighten the dog up here. Now I've got that dog firmly on. I'll put my muffler cover back on. Pop the screws back in. And I haven't forgotten about the one that I dropped on the floor. So then all that's left is to put the cover onto the saw. Grab some bar nuts. And spin them on. Give them a slight little turn, tighten them up. And there you have it. A new modified 500i with a suspension kit, full wrap handle, a scrunch holder, and the faller suspension kit. Majority of these products can be found at West Coast Saw or at your local dealer for the wrap handle and the scrunch holder kit. Or scrunch holder, it's not a kit. So that's all, and we'll see you next time.